It is Friday afternoon. We are days, hours, minutes, whatever, seconds away from the conference extraordinaire that will be next week, Tuesday the 19th, Mike. I don't know about you, but I'm absolutely shattered in preparation. But I think we've got, probably one of the best conferences we've pulled together. Would you agree?
Well, I think so. I mean, I'd like to take even half the credit for the work that's gone in, but I mean, I know you've had an awful lot to do. The team, Danielle, Anna, James, and our digital team, all been working tirelessly to get the platform looking spick and span, easy to use, working out some of the bugs. So it's been good. I mean, tech's great, but you've got to make it work, and we're very happy. I mean, having run through it yesterday with Danielle, it looks great. And again, it would be remiss of me not to point out that none of this can happen without the support of our partners. And we're going to be joined by one of our partners and also a special guest, I believe, today.
Yes. I think you and I are going to be a little underdressed for one of our special guests today. So yes, that should be interesting, Mike. Should be interesting. So look, we are on that countdown. We've got a few days left. We've got the weekend to prepare ourselves. It's shaping up to be a really, really exceptional conference. It really is. Like you say, not only have the team been working exceptionally hard, we've got a brilliant platform people can use. Hopefully, as a reminder, if you've already signed up, you should have had an email with your accesses. If you haven't, please reach out to our team. The details will be below somewhere. As a reminder, it's Tuesday, 19th. It kicks off at 9:30. A full agenda, which is available on our website. Hang on a minute, Mike. Let's click a button.
Put the banner down.
Yeah. There's on that banner. So it's available there. If you haven't got your ticket already, no worries. I believe we've got a few tickets left. You and I have got some VIP tickets to give away, Mike. So, and what we're going to do here, between now and Monday morning, if people are watching this either live or they're watching it back on replay, if they comment below, and what I am going to ask them to do, and I posted something on social media today, I want to know what your favourite part was from the last 5 years of conferences. It's our 5th birthday, our 5th anniversary. Comment what you really enjoyed, what you like, what can we do, what did you see here, and what are you looking forward to this year? Anything like that, put in the comments below. Myself and Mike will trawl through the comments and we will give out some VIP tickets. You and I will do a quick live on Monday, if that's all right with you, Mike. We'll do a quick live and we will announce all the winners of the tickets to the conference. So we've got a few left between you and I and the VIP tickets. So you get a little bit of extra special stuff as well.
Yeah, and if you've already got a ticket, but you'd like one to give away, colleague or whomever you think would benefit from a VIP ticket, courtesy of Jamie and myself, then please do comment below, and we will be picking a number of winners and announcing those on Monday.
Perfect. Right. Okay, Mike. Well, look, as I say, rather than because we've already done a previous live this week, so we already caught up on the news. You didn't join me. You were golfing or I don't know, whatever you were doing. Did you have a good time? Go on, Scotland golfing. What? Good weather, good golfing. I don't know. Did you hit the bat and put the ball in the hole somewhere? Is that how it works?
You're such a Philistine. No, it was fantastic. We were at the Carnoustie resort, so it's one of the world's best courses, obviously famous for the Open. And it was a trip that we planned in 2019. Obviously couldn't go and it get pushed back and stuff. We were blessed with the weather. My golf was rubbish, it's fair to say. I think I need to practice more or go and play more. I don't know. What do you think, Jamie, as my boss?
You can practice on a Saturday or Sunday whenever you wish to, Mike. So you carry on.
No, it was great. It was great, yeah. And it's a good bunch of lads and just nice to catch up with people. But I mean, for those of us maybe watching from Scotland, you'll be well aware that the difference between the response to COVID and here in England particularly, it's quite different. It's very strict, very tightly controlled, lots of sanitizing and, social distancing, and some restaurants weren't even open. So, I mean, moving from the UK, from England, particularly into Scotland, I think they're obviously very sensitive to the risks still. And it was everyone was really courteous and professional and really warm welcome wherever we went. But yeah, they're very much still all wearing masks and everything. So just be aware if you are heading up to Scotland, you need to adhere to those protocols.
You see, it's not just an APTV live. It's now It's a happy wanderers. If you're traveling the UK or Europe, Mike advises you as you go on. So look, Mike, let's why don't we bring in our first guest? So this week, and it's as we finish for a Friday afternoon, we're bringing in our final partner for a live session where I have the honor of introducing Matt Hammond from Pagero. Mike, I'm going to bring him in now. So if I press the button, he comes in. If you don't mind doing a full intro. Hey, Matt, how are you? There you go.
I'm good. Good afternoon, Jamie. Mike, how are you doing?
Matt, it's great to have you. We've been working with Pagero for well, you've supported us from our inception, so it's a real honor and a privilege to have you exhibiting this year. And I know you've got a lot planned for us. Do you want to give a little teaser for everyone thinking about maybe coming to the conference or even beyond? Because we've got loads coming up, haven't we?
Yeah, certainly. First, spoiler alert: it's not me that you're under arrest for today, so stay tuned. So I'm hosting a little session at the conference, as you said. Looking at a bit of a reality check is how we're tabling it. We're having a look at the 5 areas around automation that hold you back. Trying to make it insightful, trying to give a look at the areas that maybe people might gloss over, particularly if they're sat in my position, looking at the providers and how they paint the perfect picture of the transition to automation. We really want to look at where are the common areas that I wouldn't say it all goes wrong, but the areas that hold you back from really fulfilling, where you should be on your automation evolution. And because it is an evolution, people often forget this. It's not, automation is not binary. You don't suddenly say, "I've automated my accounts payable." That nobody can make that claim, because it's an evolutionary journey to every single invoice being straight through processed and not touched. Which no one can claim today. Yes, some people have achieved, high percentages of that nirvana state, let's say, but no one can get there. So, or no one is there, should we say? And my job, at the conference is to try and make people see what are the things that we can do to get there. Then that will lead quite nicely onto the session we have on the 25th of November, which is a masterclass, and we'll be bringing in some AP professionals to have an open debate around a 10-point plan in order to be successful for AP automation.
That's amazing. So not only are we getting the pitfalls and the things to be aware of, we're also going to get a route map to how to execute the program, properly. And I know that you work very closely with your customers, and this is born out of, as a global organization, I think you told me earlier you're now in 30 global offices. You're a huge player, and you've recently commercially had a bit of growth as well, haven't you?
Yeah, it's been a busy month. In the last month, we've employed 75 people. We have brought out a company, and that's added another 130 odd people, and a couple more offices in Latin America. It's also increased our annual invoice volume that we process, which is getting tantalizingly close to 500 million invoices a year we process for our customers.
Wow.
And we've also recently announced our IPO. We will be floating on the NASDAQ in Sweden. So yeah, busy month. Like to say every month's that busy, but that wouldn't be true. But yeah, it's certainly been very, very good at the last few months for us.
Yeah, so managing that growth from a very stable corporate position. Obviously, there's a lot of people in the tech space, as we discussed earlier, that have got very big goals, but aren't able to underpin it in the way that you guys have done. Yeah. So yeah, congratulations on all that you're achieving as a business. And I know, speaking to Oscar and some of the team that we worked with previously, you really do care about your customers, and that's really important. And I know a lot of our members will be seeking to engage with you on the basis of what you bring to the conference this year.
Absolutely. One of the things that really drew me to Pagero, you guys know I've been in this space for almost 20 years now, but Pagero for 2 of those years. And one of the things that really drew me was the integrity and the way that they operate with their customers and equally prospects. And just kind of highlighting that in my session next week around going through the things that people wouldn't normally tell you, and the things that get glossed over, when they're trying to paint the picture of the of the nirvana and the end result. Very much work with integrity, and very much work in partnership with all of our customers, whether they're some of the biggest companies in the world, or very, very small kind of municipality, or bakery, or an SME. Doesn't matter to us. Yeah.
Speaking of integrity, I'm going to hand back to Jamie in a second, but we've got a special guest, haven't we, Jamie?
Do you know what? I don't know whether we should do this to poor Matt. He's been a great supporter of the AP. He's been a great supporter of the AP Association. The business is flying. They're employing people all over the world. They've gone through a public flotation, and now we're going to I'm going to introduce somebody that I know our audience love. By the way, Matt, he's made a couple of appearances on our AP weeks. He's unique. He is literally the one and only. I'm going to introduce him as his title that he likes to go by, but his name's Stewart Griffiths. But let me introduce the one, the only, the Count.
Right.
Hello, world. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Matt, look, before he starts talking, because when he starts talking, we can't stop him. Let me just share the relationship here. Initially, Stewart was the one that introduced us to Pagero. He's been a big fan. He's been working alongside, trying to look at some of the automation products that you've had on offer for many a year. So it's down to Stewart actually why we got introduced to yourselves. So firstly, thank you, Stewart. Or the
My
Count.
pleasure.
And I thought I'd get that one in before he starts going. So the Count, Stewart, whatever you want to be called, what have you been up to since May when we had our AP week? Tell us all about it.
Well, lockdown was tough, Jamie. I mean, I'm sure it was tough for all of us, but I used the time wisely and I automated. As a royal dignitary, they like to sign bits of paper. I like to sign my weekly check run. I like to see what was going on in my kingdom. But Stewart came to me and said, "This is farcical. We need to move forward." And with lockdown, it made things a little bit more harder. So we digitally transformed ourselves, and it was amazing. I mean, Maverick Spend, my wife, the Countess, I found out she's buying shoes just for fun. So guess what? No PO, no pay. I had to do it. So I told that shoe supplier, stop sending shoes, no PO, no pay. And who authorises the POs? Moi. So no more of that. So I think for me, it was I think automation, invoice automation for me was a revelation, and it's led me to delve deeper into the data. Now, as royalty, you usually get people to do that for you, but I'm very much hands-on. So I'm looking at the data, and now from automating our invoice processing and now looking at how we can make that perfect purchase. I think something Matt alluded to, that seamless way of invoice, raising the PO, getting it authorized, and receipting and matching, and all seamlessly. Nobody has to touch it. So I would say I'm very much a long way from that, but that is my dream, the perfect purchase. And then from there, trying to get some discount. To be fair, I've got a bit of cash in my pocket. I can pay suppliers. It's just now a case of how quickly I want to pay them and what they're going to do for me to pay if I pay them early. So that's going to be my next mission. So from having piles of paper and having my poor team in the dungeons stacked up with paper all around them, to now looking at adding value in other ways. I think for me, that's what lockdown has brought me and automation has brought me. And I'm even now looking at, when I talk about that perfect purchase, working with Pagero to enhance that even more. So I am excited. So, tune in, watch this space, things are happening in my kingdom for sure. And I'll tell my mates, Monty and Drax, so that's Count Dracula to you, and the Count of Monte Cristo. They're all my boys. They're all involved, So I'm getting them all involved. So yeah, don't worry. We're gonna have automated kingdoms across the land. So it's gonna be fantastic.
I think it's important. Big shout out to Mrs. Griffiths or whatever you identify as, but the Countess. The Countess. I feel so sorry for her, mate.
Well, the thing is, she's under the illusion that she wears the trousers. She might wear the trousers and maybe some shoes, but let's just say I'm reining it in.
Well, look, Stewart counts. You know, I don't want to worry you here, but I'm watching the comments and I'm seeing who's watching live, and I'm guessing the countess is in the comments because the dinner's in the dog, whatever that means, and and don't expect to be taken out this week. And you are in the doghouse, I think. So wherever you're videoing this from, Count, I think I would stay there for a little while. Look, if you, by the way, if you are tuning in, this is a professional business show. We do have an audience that listen each day, each week on professional matters, and the Count actually is one of our professional members, believe it or not. He is the one and only Stewart Griffiths. He has been performing as the Count for a few years, actually. He joined us earlier this year whilst we did AP Week. And if I look back at all the videos that we've recorded over the last year or two, yours was by far the most engaged, the funniest, but actually the one that made the most sense in terms of the point that you were trying to get across. And today's point is the same. You know, yes, we jest and we joke and we have a laugh, but actually, you know, the reality of no PO, no pay. Yes, you know, we can jest, it can be done at home as well. But actually, I think Matt and Pagero and all our partners would agree that that's best practice. So, Stewart, thank you for entertaining us today. I'm not going to ask you to take the mask off and whatever, because I think everyone knows who you are. Tell me, in the eyes of Stewart Griffiths, what's going on in your world, mate?
I think in my world, the Count sort of touched on it before, but we are moving forward. I think in my business, we do want to automate, and we do want to make, you know, get to that utopia. You know, I'm so, I would say, frustrated in terms of, you know, manual invoice processing. There's no need for it in this day and age. I think in my world, you know, data is now the key. If you can get good information out of your ERP systems, and you can make those better decisions, and again, chase those discounts if that's something that you do in your industry, or look at your payment performance. You know, but I think for me, initially, it is moving from manual to automated. That is the biggest thing for me. And then from there, again, you know, stage 2, the perfect purchase. We are running a project within my business in terms of education, and you know, there's many people out there that raise POs and do things in our business, and we just want to make sure that they do things in the right way and in a timely way. And if we can get that happening, then at the end result is that invoices come in and we can pay suppliers. And then if we keep our suppliers happy, then we can move on to having better relationships with them. And you know, when we ask for stuff, they're not going to go no because you're rubbish at paying. So you know, that's the vision.
We were talking before the show, and one of the things that Matt highlighted is, and I think the value of the content that I know Pagero are going to bring to the conference is the reality of how to deploy a journey through a process to automation. And like you said, you're doing it in stages. And I know you guys have worked very closely over the recent weeks and months. How's that gone? I mean, without giving, you know, I know it's a process, but you know, has it been as easy or harder than you thought to look at automation?
I'll start back, Matt. I think for me, you know, I suppose in some respects, one of the topics in the conference is raising the profile of AP. I think it's all about buying. You know, depending how big or small your business is, you know, as AP managers, we are resilient and we know what we want, and it's just about how we get it. And some people need to hear that message in so many different ways. And I've said it before in many sort of different podcasts or whatever, or conversations. You know, we are like politicians. We need to massage and we need to cajole and we need to influence people within our businesses and get the right people around the table and then get them to make a decision. And I think getting people to make it that final, yeah, it's a good idea, from yes, it's a good idea to yes, let's do it. That's the challenge that we face in AP. So, but we are. I'm very close to. You know, I always say, you know, nothing's for definite until you've signed that on the dotted line, so to speak. So, we are very close to signing that dotted line, and I'm excited of the benefits it's going to bring, because I know what it's going to bring, and I think I've convinced my stakeholders in my business what the benefits are. So then, you know, then we can go on and continue to add value in other areas, because that's all. You know, that's the ultimate goal. You know, having people sitting down processing invoices isn't a good use of people's time, and I think we can do so much more than that. And I think, you know, the AP community would definitely say, yeah, Stu, you're right.
Well, I know your team, Matt. I mean, we're working with James and others in your team. You really put the effort in, don't you, to understand a client's business, the challenges. It's not a binary thing. You can't just flick a switch and make it happen, can you? There's a lot of work that goes into it, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. And working with people like Stuart, with their type of mentality of always wanting to get better rather than do kind of more with less. No, how to do more with less. They're probably one of our least favorite people to work with, because they're quite kind of polarized on just trying to save money. We like to work, with people who see the vision, see the the automation journey, and see it from their own staff's point of view. As you said, Stuart, the staff having to type in invoices and deal with suppliers. Have you got my invoice? When am I being paid? That does nothing for job satisfaction. It does nothing for to stop staff attrition, which every industry is facing right now. I mean, just turn on the news. And AP is no different. It's a really big problem that we're trying to address now in the industry with all of our customers and partners, is the attrition in AP teams. And if you can turn those kind of manual tasks into automation, and then start giving value add to your AP staff, you're just on a positive circle upwards of fulfillment for the company, job satisfaction. And then you start to kind of bring the rest of the organization up with AP. You touched on procurement. Unless you've got really good AP processes, procurement can't achieve everything they want to do. You can't, early payments you talked about as well, typically something that procurement might drive, to turn themselves into a bit more of a profit center. Can't do that unless you've got automation in accounts payable. So, managing those stakeholders and understanding how, AP is not an island. It really is part of the rest of the organization. And you can't move forward unless everything's moving forward together.
Totally agree.
Yeah, and obviously the reality check is the focus of the keynote, and then just to reinforce, on the 25th of November, you'll be bringing a masterclass where that's unpacked with a panel of influencers and some guest speakers that actually dig down into the how-to in terms of execution. So we're really looking forward to that. And obviously, I think you've included in the APA toolkit, which is free for all conference delegates and attendees, an ebook which brings a load of pro tips in that area as well. Is that right, Matt?
That's correct. Yeah, on our booth at the conference, you'll be able to download a copy of the ebook. Really, kind of gives you, as I said, all the pro tips, but a bit of a journey as well in order to get yourself in shape, ready for automation, or take your automation to the next level. As I said before, it certainly isn't binary. It's a journey, and no one can say they're at the end of that journey. So, wherever you are in that journey, there'll be something in there that will help take you forward.
Lovely. Well, look. I mean, we're coming towards the end of today's session. We've got a few minutes left. It'd be remiss of me, firstly, not to thank you yourself, Matt, for all of your support and the sponsorship from Pagero. I say this every time I speak, but without sponsorships such as yourselves and other partners, we couldn't do what we do. We couldn't bring on conferences and events and support crazy members like the guy below who dresses up at his own time. This is his own lunch break. But we do really thank you for all the sponsorship opportunities that you support the association with. We're really looking forward to hosting you again this year at the conference. And like you said, I think your booth is going to be exceptional. I know your talk is going to be exceptional because we've gone through that as well. And then post conference, we've got the webinar or the masterclass, which I'm going to be joining. I'm really looking forward to that as well. So make sure you jump into the booth, have a chat with Matt and the team on the day, and also then make sure you sign up for the masterclass on the 25th. So thank you, Matt. And the counts. Look, we probably don't thank our community enough. We thank our sponsors because they help us, they sponsor us, etc. But let's not forget that the count has to dress up, put his makeup on. I have a makeup team every time I go live, so they take the shine off my head or whatever it is. But Stuart, mate, honestly, it takes some bottle, shall we say, to come on to a live program like this, 2, to dress up, but 3, to take the time and effort. So thank you so much for what you do, mate. The
I
community.
I think it's my pleasure. I think, you know, I fell into AP, and I think now I wholeheartedly embrace it. I understand where it could take you, and so I'm just trying to spread the word and trying to make best for in my business and anybody who'll listen really, and help others as well. So, you know, I haven't got you can't email the account at AP, but maybe I need an email box, Jamie. I don't know, but listen, you know, Stuart's around. The Stuart's around, and you know, you can contact him through the usual channels on LinkedIn and stuff. And I'm here to help, and you know, and plus as well, I reach out to the community. And I would definitely promote, you know, anybody in AP. You know, don't be shy. Go out and, you know, drop a message, DM somebody, or and you know, if you've got, you know, if you find if they're interested, or if they're in a similar industry, you know, let's have a conversation, because you know, you find out stuff and new ways of doing stuff. I'm forever learning new hints and tips. You know, there's many ways to get an invoice processed, as you all know, and there's many ways to reach your goals. And so I would say definitely, you know, keep growing your knowledge. You know, jump onto webinars and stuff like that. You know, there's so much information out there, and then you just tell it to your business, and then away you go. You know, we are a resilient bunch, us and AP, and I think we are here to, you know, we are here to make a difference. And so, you know, keep making a difference. And if I need to keep dressing up every time so I stick in your brains, you know, but we are all AP rock stars. We are so, you know, I love the AP community, and I'll do whatever it needs to take to make sure that the message gets across to everybody in that C-suite that, you know, AP is fantastic, and we are the backbone of every business. And so, and we touch on everything. We know everybody, you know, so help us to help you, Mr. Businessman.
As always, Stuart, I've got to leave the last word with you, I suppose, because otherwise I have to cut you off. Look, thanks for both. Matt, thank you so much for joining us today. We look forward to hosting you on Tuesday. Stuart, the Count, thank you once again for reappearing. Mike, any last words today before we sign off ahead of the conference?
Yeah, just another quick plug for the Accounts Payable Association app. As a community, obviously LinkedIn's great, and you can all, you know, first level connection, second level. If you're not connected to people, Matt, the team at Pagero, connect to them, ask them questions, direct message them, like Stuart said. But also, if you're a member of the AP Association, or you want to explore that, then my colleague Mo handles all our membership. He can talk you through the benefits of that. But we have an app where you can actually, you know, get involved in forum discussions and polls and all that kind of stuff. And as a community, reach out and learn from each other. And we invite our partners into that community, you know, not so they can spam you with loads of sales stuff, but so they're there as a resource. So, you know, look up Matt and the team at Pagero in the app, and start to ask questions and learn how you can take your business forward as, you know, post-conference as well.
Thank you all. Final reminder, next Tuesday, the 19th, 9:30 a.m. sharp. It's so press that button.
I'll be there.
There we go. Look, so there's your last reminder. There's the website. If you haven't got tickets, if you're watching this back on replay, or if your comments into the section at the side, myself and Mike will go through. And as it's Friday, Mike, if the comment is a good comment, then we will give a VIP ticket away. I suppose one last thing, Matt, Count, anything you'd like to say? Any reminders or anything that was special from the last 5-year conferences? Anything that brings to mind before we finish today?
I'll go first then. So I remember, obviously, Brad Burton was just absolute nutter. I couldn't, you know, he blew everybody's socks off. But you know, we had Mary. You know, I called her the goat of AP, greatest of all time. I think she's on another level and can offer so much to the industry as well, the AP community. I remember Sam, the LinkedIn lady, who done a lot of stuff and taught me a thing or two about LinkedIn. There's so many takeaways. I think it's always jam packed. I think it just gets better and better. You guys just excel every time, and I think anybody who's in AP should be looking at watching even if they can get it on demand or whatever, but they should be involved in this and make sure they watch it, because there's always something to learn. Definitely.
Thank you, Stuart.
Yeah, from my side, last year I was particularly impressed when speaking to some of the delegates to understand how they'd so quickly coped with the present situation. Let's say, I'm not going to say the C word, you know, and how quickly people have evolved and adapted. and excelled under the current conditions. That was very impressive. I haven't had the pleasure to go to any of your physical events yet. Really hoping that next year is face-to-face. Really got to see the count face-to-face in that get-up. And please do consider, as you were considering this year, Aston Villa Football Club for the for the venue.
You know what, Matt? I mean, we spoke prior to this. I didn't realise we grew up in the same area. We went to very close schools, and I'm guessing from this that you might be an Aston Villa fan. But there will be other football teams available. I'm not a big football fan. We will see, Matt. Definitely, 100%. Though we can guarantee lots of live events next year. We are absolutely looking forward to getting back to that live community, which is where we thrive. Look, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much, all. And no doubt we'll all speak again on Tuesday. Thanks, guys.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
See you
Thanks.
Tuesday.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.